Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. So, Meridian Pay is a stellar smart wallet that feels like a regular web app, but everything you do is happening on-chain. This is not a demo or a test net. Every one of you is holding a real stellar wallet in your hands, holding real XLM and real assets. And our goal since the beginning was very simple. Our goal was to deliver a Web2-like experience into Web3 while showcasing things that can only be done with Stellar. But of course, to get there, we have to deliver and to solve some hard problems. So my goal here is to overview the user experience we want to deliver with this app. So the best way for us to start doing this is talking about the key features we want to include on this application, and at the end that we did. So the first thing is we want the app to be passwordless, meaning anyone should be able to log into the app when possible using Face ID or Touch ID. So no password, no seed phrase at all. Second, we want the app to support multi-assets, from XLM to other type of tokens that we'll talk about later also. The payment flow should be as smooth as possible. We want any user to be able to transact in just a few seconds, with just a few clicks. And finally, we want the UX to be as simplified as possible, meaning no installs and no user-facing fees. Just a clean Web2-like experience powered by Stellar. But again, to get there, we had to solve some very hard problems. So I picked 5 or 6 of those challenges to highlight to all of you today, the challenge and how we solve those at the end. The first big question we had to overcome was, how do we onboard people near instant without requiring installs or demanding a creation of a seed phrase? For that, most of you have tried already, so we chose to deliver a web-based wallet secured by passkeys that we also talk about more about later. The second big question that we had to overcome in terms of challenge was, how do we distribute 1,000 plus tokens for people and wallets that we don't have the address first? For that, we have implemented Merc3 with predictable addresses derived from the user's emails. So that way we can know the address before the users created the wallet itself. The second is, we all know that the blockchain has a cost, right? Every transaction generates a cost. So how can we make that transparent for the final user? We have leveraged one stellar open source tool called the Wallet Backend so that we can sponsor the fees on behalf of the users. We'll talk more about the Wallet Backend in a minute with Marcelo also, so that we can overview some other cool features behind the Wallet Backend service. The last thing, as I mentioned, we want the payment experience to be as smooth as possible. So how can we do that in a real-world setting so that people here at the conference can do this with just a few seconds or a few clicks? For that, we have delivered the experience with QR code. So people can just literally open the camera, scan the QR code, confirm, and you get the transaction done on-chain. That's very important. And lastly, but not less important, how do we prevent people to lose access to their wallet and at the end losing access to their funds? So since the beginning, we implemented this wallet by including a recovery system built-in using email and passkeys also. So at the end, we delivered this app and we are showcasing Stellar latest capabilities, building a passkey, a smart wallet, with 750 NFTs and real-world assets at Stellar. But let's see in action. Many of you have done already, I hope. If you haven't, give it a try. But the beginning of this user experience is very simple. So everything should have started with either a link or an email that many of you have received a few days ago. With that link in hand, you click it, you open on your mobile browser, you click on a button, sign with Face ID, and that's it. As simple as that, you have a Stellar wallet set up on your device. And again, this is a real Stellar wallet on the mainnet, with just like one click and one Face ID scanning, for example. And one important thing, the authentication with passkeys was done very secure. We implemented WebAuthn behind the scenes, so the private key never leaves your device. Second, as soon as you have the wallet set up, and many of you will start doing or have done for some NFTs already, you can start scanning QR codes to get a coffee, buy a juice. And again, the process is very simple, right? You open the camera, scan the QR code, you get a confirmation of the payment, sign with your Face ID or Touch ID, and that's it. You did an on-chain transaction with just 2 clicks. Or if you want to get an NFT, you do the same flow. Scan a QR code, and you get that. But of course, fees are still there. But as I mentioned, we are leveraging the wallet backend behind the scenes so that we can sponsor those fees on behalf of the user, and that becomes fully transparent for the user. They don't need to worry about that, so that this don't need to become a friction on the user experience. If you lose access to your account, not a problem. You open the link again, confirm your email, sign with passkey and ID device, and that's it. Your account is recovered. So all of those flows, they can be done with just a few clicks, each of those. And besides all of that, it's still fun, right? We can claim a swag, we can claim NFTs, we can even go for a treasure hunt. All of that powered by the Stellar smart contracts. So bottom line is, if you can unlock your phone, you can use Meridian Pay. That was the UX baseline that we set out to hit since the beginning. But let's take a look under the hood and understand the pieces that compose this application. So on the top, we have the Meridian web app with passkeys, with recovery building, with QR code payment flow that anyone here can experience. In the middle, we have the backend services. We have mainly 3 backend services here. One is the Meridian Pay backend with a few endpoints to serve the web app. We have the wallet backend, which is again a Stellar open source tool used to sponsor the fees of the users. But the wallet backend has other very interesting features that Marcelo will talk about later, like indexing account history and some other things. And we also have the Stellar distribution platform to create and fund wallet at scale. Those 3, they hide the complexity of the blockchain from the final user. And at the bottom, we have the smart contracts. We have smart contracts for the web out-end implementation, for the Mercury distributor to give the tokens for the users, for example. We have the NFTs implementation, and we also have a multi-call implementation where we can bundle multiple contract calls into a single transaction. And the key message here is, it's not about one thing, right? It's the combination of Stellar low fees, the passkeys, the contracts, and the enterprise tooling. These allow us to deliver such experience that's easy and anyone can use and try at a conference like this, for example. So if I can summarize for the user experience part, everything that I just mentioned in a few phrases, I would say that low fees make the fee sponsorship work. The fast finality of the network allow us to create a smooth user experience for the final user. Passkeys allow us to deliver a secure but yet simple onboarding for those users. And with the open source tooling available at the Stellar ecosystem, anyone in this room can start building production-ready smart wallets today. But that's not all. So this was an overview about the user experience. The goal now is for us to go deep about some technical aspects behind some of those implementations. Philip.